I didn't expect trouble when I posted my roommate ad, but Ethan seemed off. His smile was too polite, too ordinary, forgettable in a way that felt wrong. I needed the money, though, so when he showed up with references and first month's rent ready, I handed him the spare key. "Thanks, Lily," he said softly. And he was right. Ethan became a ghost, leaving before I woke, returning after I left. No sounds, no signs of life. When we crossed paths, he'd nod, comment on the weather, then vanish like smoke. After a few weeks, I started to relax. I had the perfect roommate, quiet, clean, invisible. Then the food started disappearing. First, it was little things. A container of leftover Chinese takeout, half a loaf of bread. I chalked it up to forgetfulness. But when an entire rotisserie chicken vanished overnight, I couldn't ignore it. I left a note on the fridge. "Please, don't eat my food without asking." The next morning, the note was untouched, but the orange juice I'd bought yesterday was gone. "Ethan?" I called that evening. No answer. I tried the door handle locked. I could have sworn I heard breathing from inside. The scratching started a few nights later. I was scrolling through my phone when it began soft, deliberate, rhythmic. Scratch, scratch, scratch. At first, I told myself it was just pipes or the building settling. Then it started again, closer this time, right above my bed. I didn't sleep. Then came the smell, sour, musty, like someone who hadn't showered in weeks. It seeped from the vents, strongest in my bedroom and the hallway to Ethan's room. The super found nothing. Still, the odor returned every few days. I began to feel watched. That prickly sensation on the back of my neck never left, whether I was cooking, showering, or changing clothes. I checked the windows constantly, convinced someone was on the fire escape, but there was never anyone there. "Are you okay?" my friend Marissa asked over coffee. "It's the new roommate," I said, hesitating. "Actually, I don't even know if it's him. But weird stuff keeps happening." I told her everything: the food, the sounds, the smell, how my bedroom door would be slightly ajar in the mornings, even though I'd locked it at night. How my things were subtly out of place, hairbrushes shifted, drawers left slightly open. "Lily, you have to confront him." "Today," Marissa said, pale. I pounded on Ethan's door. Silence. I grabbed my phone and called the number from his rental application. Scrolling through our messages, I noticed something terrifying. Everything older than 3 months was gone. Ethan had only moved in 6 weeks ago. Panicked, I went to the building office. "I need to verify my roommate Ethan Chen, Unit 407. The manager frowned. "There's no Ethan Chen registered in 407. Just you. I have his application. He moved in October 15th. "Honey." My stomach dropped. Then who's living in my apartment? Then my phone buzzed. An unknown number. "Room available immediately. Quiet female roommate. Privacy respected." I ran back, Clara calling after me. It was empty. No bed, no clothes, no sign anyone had lived there. Only dust and a faint, rotten smell. In the corner, a small, dark opening behind where the dresser would have been. I called 911. Within 10 minutes, they discovered a crawl space leading to the attic and multiple other units. Inside, a sleeping bag, food wrappers, empty water bottles, a laptop, and a small camera mounted to watch my bed. Hundreds of photos on the laptop, me sleeping, changing, eating, living. Files contained other names, addresses, and posts of women who had advertised for roommates. Detective Reyes showed me the final folder. We found similar setups in 4 other buildings. He impersonated former tenants, made keys, and established himself without leaving. "Where is he now?" I whispered, searching. "But look at this," she said, opening a document. Future roommates. Dozens of names, dozens of addresses. My name on line 47. They caught him 3 days later, attempting to move into another apartment in Brooklyn. In his storage unit, more cameras, more lists, sleeping bags, and a journal. Pages detailing his roommates, their routines, even times he had touched them while they slept. I moved out immediately, stayed with Marissa for months, and finally found a new place. Cameras everywhere, no attics or crawl spaces. 3 deadbolts on every door. I check walls, vents, corners, constantly. Sometimes, late at night, I still hear scratching. The therapist says it's PTSD, but I know what I know. Ethan had been in my walls, watching me. Perfectly quiet, perfectly invisible. I should have trusted my gut. I was wrong about him. I thought buying a cheap car would be easy. I found the Camry on a Tuesday evening, parked behind a half-empty strip mall off Route 9. The seller looked jittery, mid-40s, foot tapping, like he couldn't wait to leave. $3,200 for a 2015, with 67,000 miles, too good to pass up. "Runs great," he said, patting the hood. I believed him. We signed the title in his car, his hands trembling as he counted the cash, glancing constantly at the road as if someone was watching. I should have asked why. "Trunk sticks sometimes," he added, jingling the keys before dropping them in my palm. Then he was gone, climbing into a black Honda Accord, idling 3 spaces over. Windows tinted, driver unseen. I watched them pull away, feeling that flutter of anxiety when you've just spent your savings on something that's now entirely your responsibility. The car drove perfectly smooth acceleration, cold AC, working sound system. I even stopped for groceries, treated myself to rotisserie chicken, loaded my bags in the trunk, which opened fine. A little stiff, sure, but nothing WD-40 couldn't fix. That night, I slept better than I had in months, until the smell hit me. 5:47 a.m. Still dark. Running late, gym bag in hand, I jogged across the parking lot in sweatpants and slides. 10 feet from the Camry, it hit me a sickly sweet, rotting odor. My first thought was an animal. A cat, raccoon, something trapped in the engine. Rational explanations crowded my mind, one after another. The smell was strongest near the trunk. I tried the handle, lifted and pushed, like the seller said. The click came, and the stench poured out like a physical thing. Gagging, I stumbled back and peeked inside. A body, wrapped in a blue tarp, the kind you get at hardware stores. One arm had slipped free. Pale, stiff fingers curled unnaturally. I froze. A woman's hand, maybe. I didn't want to be sure. I slammed the trunk, shaking so violently I dropped the keys. They clattered against the asphalt like gunshots. No cars, no people, nothing to witness me standing there with a corpse I had unknowingly bought. I should call the police. Obviously. But then came the questions. Where did I get the car? Cash? Did I check the trunk? Would they believe me? Could I explain my fingerprints on the tarp, the keys, the car interior? The sun started creeping up. I had 12 minutes before work, bills due, a life that was small, simple, and mine. I picked up the keys. The engine purred. The AC worked. I was driving, normal. Nothing wrong. But the trunk held a secret, someone's daughter, sister, friend. The seller's relief as he counted cash. The Honda Accord. I considered driving to the police station, or taking the car out to the woods I knew. Service roads no one used. East toward work, west toward isolation. Evidence or cover-up, life or nightmare. The turn signal clicked in the silence. Right or left, victim or accomplice. I never made it to work that day. 3 days later, the police knocked on my apartment door, asking about a blue 2015 Camry and a body found in the trunk. I had to choose again, tell the truth. Call it in, or claim ignorance. I still haven't decided. It started with a laptop I didn't need anymore. Old, slow, collecting dust. I wiped it clean, factory reset, deep, erase. Even ran that triple pass deletion software the forums swear by. Nothing left. It was ready for someone else's life now, not mine. The buyer's name was Adrian, or so his Craigslist message said. We met at a busy cafe downtown, public, safe, the kind of place where nothing bad is supposed to happen. He was pale and thin, with those small wire-rimmed glasses that never stop reflecting light. He tested the laptop, nodded once, and handed me an envelope of cash. Appreciate this, he said quietly, like a confession. Been looking for this exact model for a long time. I didn't ask why. 3 days later, I got the first text. Hey, quick question about the laptop. Do you still have the charger that goes with your Keurig? The one on your kitchen counter? I froze. My kitchen? I stared at the screen, reread it twice. Then I typed back, wrong number. And how do you know what's in my kitchen? The reply came instantly. Sorry. Autocorrect. Meant the laptop charger. By the way, I found some leftover files, thought you might want them back. My stomach dropped. There couldn't be files. I'd wiped it clean. There's nothing on that laptop, I wrote. Almost nothing, he replied. That folder called Insurance Docs had your social. And those Portland photos. You look peaceful when you sleep. I blocked the number so fast I nearly dropped my phone. Then I blocked his account. Changed my passwords. Deleted everything. I ran virus scans until my computer overheated. Clean. Everything said clean. The first package arrived Tuesday. Plain brown box, no return address. Inside, a photo. Me. Asleep in my bed. My laptop's blue glow lighting my face. The angle was from my dresser, where my phone charges every night. I called the police. They took notes. Promised to look into it. I didn't mention the laptop. It sounded crazy, even in my head. 2 days later came another package. More photos. Me at the grocery store. Me at the gym. Me at a red light, scratching my nose. Some were screenshots from security footage. Others close-ups. From phones. In the reflections, I could see him. Just out of focus. He'd been following me. For years. I stopped going out. I taped over every camera lens, laptop, phone, tablet. I reset everything, wiped every device, even bought a new router. For a few days, it felt better, quieter. Then, the emails started. You can't delete me. Reset doesn't reset us. I was there before the laptop. The laptop just let me stop hiding. I hired a cybersecurity expert, Dr. Morgan. She was clinical, confident. She tore apart my system, line by line, until she found it. Whoever did this, she said softly, knew exactly what they were doing. This isn't amateur work. How long? I asked. She scrolled through timestamps. 3, maybe 4 years. Years. She removed what she could. But when I asked if it was gone, she hesitated. If he's this skilled, you'll never really know. That night, I unplugged everything, router, TV, phone, even the smart bulbs. I sat in the dark, waiting for silence that never came. My head buzzed with phantom notifications. Then came the final email. From my own address. Check Craigslist, personals, posted an hour ago. My hands trembled as I typed. There it was. Used body. Slightly broken. Free to good home. It listed my height, weight, birth date, and medical history details buried in password-protected files. My daily routine. My fears. Even how I take my coffee. At the bottom, my home address, and one final line. Currently occupied, but not for long. The post had over 900 views. I called the police again. They promised to send someone first thing in the morning. I locked my doors, my windows, checked them 3 times. I turned off my phone, but it still buzzed. Then came the sound. Faint typing. From my closet. That's where I'd stored the laptop box. The typing stopped. I checked the listing one last time. The status had changed. Available sale pending. Someone had made an offer, and Adrian, or whoever he really was, had just accepted.